so much for clicking on this video. And today I'm going to show you how I got these knotless boho bohemian braids. It is beginner friendly because it was my first time doing it, so if I can do it, so can you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get right into it. So we're starting off with a rat tail comb, some clips for separating, and then a wide tooth comb for detangling. And then I'm going to use this shine jam on the actual like base of the braid, like the square. And then this I'm going to use on the length of the braids, just to blend my hair with the braiding hair and just to give the braids an overall like shiny look. And here is a braiding rack that I got from Amazon where I just separated the hair, and the colors that I'm using in the hair is 1B27 and also 427, and here it is just spread out on the rack again. So we're going to go in and just separate the front of my hair into two sections. I already did the back, and then we're going to separate those two sections into rows so we can begin like making the squares and making the boxes as neat as possible. So here I've already done one braid, and now I am adding that shine jam to the base of the braid and just smoothing out the roots. And then I am going ahead and separating that piece of hair into three sections, and then it's just three basic sections, equal sections. And then we are going to start braiding just a regular braid about 3 or 4 times down. You could start adding the braiding hair as soon as you want, but I do it about 3 or 4 times down. And then here I'm adding some braiding hair. So what I'm doing here is adding it to the back of the braid in the center, and then taking each part of that hair and adding it to the outer leg of each braid. And then you just continue to braid forward. And then at this point, you're going to only have 2 parts that have added hair, and there's going to be 1 part that hasn't had any added hair because you just added it to the 2 outer legs. And then the next piece, you will make sure that that part with no hair is on the outside, so you can then add it to the blend it in with the new piece of hair you're adding. So you're going to continue to just braid forward and then smooth that each piece of hair with your fingers as you go down. And right here, there's a piece of my hair that's like kind of sticking out. So what I'm going to do is add some of that Let Jam just to smooth my hair in with the braiding hair, and smooth the rest of the hair with my fingers as I continue to braid. And it also just gives the braids like a shiny kind of look. And then I'm going to continue to braid down, and with each braid, I'm just smoothing down each section. And then here I am going to go ahead and add another piece of hair to the back of the braid, the center of the back of the braid. Take each of those legs of that piece of hair and add it to the outer leg of each braid, and then just pull it forward as you're braiding. So here I'm just borrowing a piece of hair from that middle section because it was like too thick, just to make the 3 sections even. And then I'm just going to continue to braid, and you can continue to do that like as you're doing your hair. If you feel like the sections aren't even, you can always borrow from one sections to make those 3 parts equally as thick. And then I'm just going to continue braiding down. And the amount of braiding hair that you add is totally up to you. If you want to keep the thickness like even throughout the braid, I would continue just adding so that the top isn't thick, and then as you get to the bottom it's thin. So that's why I just continue to add hair if I feel that it is getting thin towards the bottom. These braids ended up being about like waist length, so I did have quite a while to keep braiding. So once we get to the end of the braid, or where I want to stop, you're going to take one piece of like a little piece of hair from one of those sections to act almost like a string to tie the ends of the braid. So I'm going to take that piece of hair, wrap it around, and just loop it around and just tie a knot. And just pull that piece of hair out So you basically have a knot at the end of the braid that is just keeping the whole braid together. And then you're just going to basically tighten that like I'm doing here. And then just try to like kind of blend it in with the rest of the hair at the bottom. And then you're going to dip the end so it's going to look better. So here's what the ends look like not dipped. So we're going to go ahead and dip that in some hot water. I just boiled some water and put it in a pitcher and then dip the ends in for like maybe 10 to 15 seconds and dried it off. So this is the non-dipped ends, and then this is what they look like after dipping. So now we are going to go into the curly pieces of hair. I use this Spanish wand curl and the color is T3027, and I used only about like 1 pack of this. I don't know why. I thought I would need much more, but I didn't. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Crochet Method, and so I'm basically just going to put the crochet needle through the braid. It's a little tough in the beginning, but it gets easier after that. Just kind of find a hole and push it through. And then I'm going to add that curly piece of hair, just hook it onto the end of the latch, and then kind of pull it, close the latch, and then pull it through the other end. So now you're just going to have those 2 pieces, and you're just going to loop it around, basically like making a knot, pulling that piece of hair through onto the other side. And then you would basically just like have a knot with the curly hair kind of sticking out. And I did put a little nail glue on the actual knot just to make sure that the knot doesn't like come unraveled, but you can leave it like this. I think just adding the glue just adds a little bit more security, so you don't have to worry about it like coming loose. And I added about 2 pieces to each braid, so 1 to the top like you just saw me do, and then 1 to the bottom of the braid. So here I'm going to just repeat those same steps, basically putting that crochet needle through to the bottom of the braid, adding the piece of hair, then close the latch hook, and then just bring it over to the other side, and just basically repeat that on every braid. So last but not least, I went ahead and added some foam to the curls. This hair is synthetic, so it can get like kind of dry and matted after a while. So just to just take precautionary measures, I wanted to moisturize it. So I went ahead and did that, and I added about 2 pieces of hair to each braid, 1 to the top and 1 to the bottom, and this was the finished product. I was very happy with how it came out, especially it being my first time. I think that it came out really good for my first time, and I really didn't use that much like packs of hair or product, so I definitely hope you guys enjoy and definitely give it a try. And thank you so much for watching. Can't wait to see you next time. Bye.